Welcome back. Why am I saying welcome back to you? I don't fucking know. I'm back. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've made one of these. I just got off making, one of my personal favorite projects. Two of my personal favorite projects, actually. After finally finishing, episode 4 of Power Lunch, and then following that up with a full length sigil album combination thing, I feel pretty fulfilled recently, artistically. But there's something that I've been thinking about recently that I've been kind of fixated on that I want to talk about. So I'm gonna kind of use this as an opportunity to sort of kind of follow up on my pro-fiction, pro-ship video. Shit in my way. Do I look cool now? So, where do I begin with this? So, I've been, for the better part of, 2, maybe, I'll say 2 years now, I've considered myself a part of a growing, underground movement in the queer community that doesn't really get a lot of respect. As a matter of fact, gets barely any fuck all respect. That's the word. I am a part of the Radqueer movement. And essentially, the Radqueer movement encapsulates pretty much all queer identities that are outside of the mainstream conception of queerness. The kinds of queer people that have been able to mainstream themselves enough to the point where polite society doesn't... Well, they still want to kill them, obviously. Polite society still wants queer people to go away and trans people to go away. But, you know, they don't they don't even consider the possibility of some of these things to be real. Like, a lot of these things seem made up. But I'm going to get into a conversation about... Jesus Christ, my fucking alarm's going off. It's 4:13! Thank you, base god! It's 4:13! Let's go! I have been hyperfixated on the concept of trans identity. Specifically, it is referred to as TransID, trans identity. And what this is a broad term to encapsulate all other identities to which can be switched out from one another. We already are familiar with the concept of transsexuality and transgender, but these things are limited. They are limited because we limited ourselves to these things. We cannot truly deterritorialize and deconstruct the hierarchy of systems that we live in if we only suffice with a couple of identity labels. When we need to realize that identity is a series of costumes, it's style, it's a fashion. None of it has any sacredness. And the idea that these things need to be protected is bullshit. But we'll get into that, because there are certain communities that I know will not be a big fan of what I'm going to bring up right now. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. There was a concept in trans identity of trans race. Someone who is one sort of identity of skin color or just the conception that we made up. and wants to be another. Is that hurting anybody? I believe that some people might say yes. To which I would say, how? How is it hurting you? Is it... I cannot see how these people could possibly hurt, one, the communities that you're already a part of, two, be harmful to the chances of us winning the culture war, which is like a fucking... What is this? What is that? What is that? We're not seeking to win the culture war. We are seeking to win a spiritual war against fascism. And the problem is that we only focus on these few couple of things. We're not convinced that we can successfully de-essentialize things like race. You know, I'm a white person. But if I wanted to be black, that in of essence would be a sort of deterritorialization of sorts. Same would be otherwise. The problem is that like people hold on to concepts like culture and identity as these tangible, real things that we need to protect. We need to protect these cultural ideas. We need to protect these memes, these things that are supposed to change with time. The ultimate goal at the end of the day is to create a cultural chaos, to create a scenario where anything is possible. Nothing should be off limits. The problem is that people will mistake this as a way to impose bigotry and a way to support fascism. Not so. The thing is that, like, fascism is inherently about the constriction of ability, about putting you in a box and making sure you can't do anything that's outside of that box. The goal here is to make sure that literally nothing's off limits. Nothing is impossible. You can be whatever you want. Do you want to be black? Do you want to be Ukrainian? Do you want to be... I don't know, do you want to have bipolar disorder? All of these things are possible. Trans identity is a way to sort of completely shatter this conception of essential identity, that you can prove what identity is. And this concept that we would be stealing resources by doing this is just, it's simply not the case. The only true thing that's really uniting us is that we're human beings. And even then, that is something we cannot materially prove. The only thing that we have at all is that we can see things. And what are we seeing? What is the process of seeing? Well, it is synapses. It is electrodes fucking going through our brain and activating neurons and activating this and that and this and that. So really, what is this real? Is this fucking plushie real? Is this jug of water real? What is real to you? Do you think that's oxygen you're breathing right now? I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I had a Matrix reference right in front of me. I was wearing sunglasses. It was impossible to fucking not do. Fuck, okay. Some people want to be a dog. Okay? Cool. You're a dog. No fucking... No problem there. Am I getting hurt by you being a dog? I might get hurt if you bite me, motherfucker. Don't bite me. I know some of you fucking puppy girls are fucking ankle biters. I know there's some of you out there that are ankle biters. But yeah, like, all of this doesn't really matter. This material form that I take is merely something that I perceive with my eyes. It's not real. It's not real in a provable material way, because material reality is just what we see with our eyes. It's not a real thing. So we don't need to protect this concept of culture, of identity. These things are things we made up. All of it's made up. So if you're going to try and prevent people from toying with these concepts and having fun, well, there's a word for that. So here's a more difficult conversation to have, because this is related to TransID. And I'm also, I could say some... I think there are people of this group in this audience that would probably be more educated on how this works than I am, but I'm just coming at this from my own experience of how this works. There is a group in TransID called Trans Harmfuls and Trans Harmed, and essentially what we have are people who, within consensual reason, want to be either harmful people, character archetypes, or want to be harmed in a very specific way. So, are they valid? Yeah. If they're not harming people who do not consent, like if they're harming people who do not consent, then by all means that's not a term of validity. The validity isn't a factor there. What's a factor there is there being a fucking dick. There's just a word for that. It's called being a fucking asshole. But within groups of people who consent to do a thing, I'm 100% pro-consent in all factors. If you are an adult, an adult above the age of 18, and you can and you want to fucking do anything, really, anything, I mean anything, and both parties consent, or any of the parties consent, if all parties are consenting to the activity that is happening, okay, cool. Have fun. Have fun. People forgot that life is about fun. People forgot that life is about being happy. Not all of us can live a purely utilitarian, cynical life. And most of us wouldn't want to live that life. That's bullshit. It's fucking stupid. What we want to do is we want to have fun. We want to just be ourselves and just do things that we want. We have desire. Desire doesn't come from a lack. Desire just exists. It is something that is formed in our brain, and if the desire doesn't hurt anyone if you have a desire and it doesn't hurt anyone without their consent, then by all means you should be able to act on that desire. Any desire. Any. Now, this is where I have to draw my necessary line. This is where I have to draw my necessary line. underage people cannot willingly consent with adults. Animals cannot consent with humans. Biological animals cannot consent with biological humans. And, corpses cannot consent with living beings. Those are my three, those are the three concessions I will make there. Fair enough? Fair enough. Everything else is fair game. That's it. Yeah, trans harmfuls, trans hatefuls, do I need to give examples? I think I probably should give examples. So, there are some people who, if somebody really wants to experience being groomed, or if somebody wants to experience just any form of abuse, but they want to be able to practice it in a consensual environment where, at any moment they can be like, all right, I want this play to end, and both parties are like, cool. Did you have fun? Fucking do. And some people want to be a groomer, and some people, and I think, there's an instinct to be like, this is like a cope for people who have, fucked up desires, and that instinct is something that is born out of judgment. These aren't fucked up desires, they're just desires. They only become fucked up when they're harming innocent people who don't give knowledgeable consent. Is that fair enough to say? Another example is that a subtype of trans harmfuls are trans hatefuls, and subsequently trans hateds. Some people want to explore the taboo of bigotry. And all I have to say is that if it's between two consenting people or more consenting people, I don't know why I keep presuming it's just two people. If all parties are consenting in this activity, then fucking who cares? My basis is always, if it's not hurting anyone, what does it matter? Just don't fucking worry about it. If you're out here having a fucking panic attack about something that is literally not happening to you directly, if you are having a fucking hubbub about a bunch of people who are just minding their own business and having fun on their own terms, and they're not attacking you in any sense, then I'm not even going to be nice here. Fuck off. Just simply fuck off. Go away. If you don't like that shit, go get some of your fucking anti-friends and have your little no fun party. I think at the end of the day, it's important to recognize that, like I said, identity is just a set of costumes. All of these concepts, all of these ideas of identity and culture and all these things that we made up, they are made up. And trying to protect them, trying to maintain their purity, that is a misconception that is formed by fascism. And it is fascism. Accidental or not. It's a fascistic instinct to, see your own culture and be like, no, I have to protect this from these outside influences, because they're not as smart as us. They don't know as much as us. They need to study up on this shit. They need to know how to do it this way, because people who were a part of this, they would never do anything like this. They have to do this, not that. They have to do this. And that is an inherently fascistic technique. That is an instinct born of fascism. Now, I'm not saying these people are fascists. But I'm saying that these people are thinking in fascistic terms. Everybody has fascism baked into them. That's what this society specifically, is built on. It's built on fascism, and it's built on mental fascism. We're talking about mental fascism. We're talking about the inherent desire to box things into a certain place where they cannot move. And movement is of utmost importance. Movement is the ultimate fucking thing. Like, if we cannot move, we are giving into fascism. Like, fascism inherently is the act of freezing time. Let me say that again. Fascists literally want to stop time. So who's more delusional? The people who want to be dogs and the people who want to be like Brazilian when they live in the UK, or the people who literally want to stop time? Movement is important. Identity is not. Identity is simply a costume. Like I said, it is a series of toys that we get to play with, and we get to embrace different sides of ourselves that we never would have thought existed. The whole point of non-linear movement is to be ultimately free and realize that everything is a toy and you can be whatever you want. And isn't that the end goal of the LGBTQ to begin with? Isn't that the end goal of progressivism? Isn't that the end goal of most leftism? So why are they so hostile to the radqueers? Why are they so hostile to transids? I think these people being mainstreamed are scared of letting go of their essential qualities. They're scared of realizing that the way we've been thinking for the past couple of hundreds of years is outdated, long outdated. We've been doing therapy under the Freudian model for fucking ever. And there are people who like, can we just not admit that Freud was a fucking dumbass? And I mean, he himself fucking said it. Sometimes the pipe is just a pipe. But no, we can't let go. We cannot let go. And that's the problem with modern leftists. That's the problem with people who refuse to engage with the radqueers. They see us as like the crazy woman in the attic. They feed us, they bathe us, they have a home for us, but they refuse to talk about us. And actively talk shit about us. What gives? What gives? I think eventually it's gonna come a time where we actually have to take this shit seriously, when we have to start making the moves to mainstream ourselves in any way that we possibly can. It's gonna be hard, grueling work, but we gotta do it. We gotta fucking do it. 'Cause no one will if we don't. 'Cause at the end of the day, we just want to live our lives. We just want to have fun. We just want to do whatever we want. No different than just men who want to fuck other men. men who want to love other men, women who want to love other women, and a person who was born a male wanting to be a female like me. It's no different. It's no different. So why are we shunned? This is something that people have to start thinking about. And if you're an auntie and you have gotten this far, I hope that I've made a compelling case. If not, do your thing. Go leave your comment where you tell me to end my life. It's no big deal. At the end of the day, if nobody's gonna talk about this shit, somebody has to. So I think that's all I have to say. I might make an update on this, might not. Who knows? Who cares? I'm just glad to be back. Thank you all for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed this.